The Cleveland Browns quarterback room remains the wildest position group in all of the NFL because nowhere else in the league will you find minicamp passing stats being public record, being broken down, being impactful, being significant to the point where very respected Cleveland reporter Mary Kay Cabot believes that Deshaun Watson has outperformed Shedeur Sanders enough in minicamp to warrant being named QB1, in her words, so that the offense can begin to gel, that they can gel with their QB1 and move forward right now. Lynnell, do you agree with this logic?
So here's the thing. A lot of respect for Mary Kay, first and foremost.
Sure.
One of the best in the biz. She's not saying this based off of her eyes. Let's just say that. Let's just start there. This is something that's been fed to her, respectfully. I don't mean to say that like she ain't reporting. This is something that
the media can't cover minicamp. You can't watch every snap of minicamp.
So she's being spoon-fed this, and I mean that in the most respectful way possible, by the powers that be in Cleveland. Here's where I immediately go with this. It's not a good look for Shedeur Sanders. Because before the actual football started happening, you were hearing everything great. Like, first guy in the building. He's been there all offseason. He got a head mantle for Todd Monken. And then as soon as the football gets pulled out, and you actually, got to go through progressions and make reads, Deshaun Watson looks like the better guy. It's early, though, is what I would say. And some guys, especially at the quarterback position when you're young, better in game than they are in practice because it's real. There are real bullets firing, so to speak. And I hate using that analogy, but you know what I mean. Everything is live. You can get touched. You can get contacted. I feel like Shedeur's a guy that's always going to look better in game than in practice because of the unorthodox nature that he plays with sometimes. But it's fascinating. I don't think it's a great look for Shedeur, but I also think maybe, just maybe buying stock in Deshaun Watson. It's a good supporting cast. I said this earlier in the week, Josh. Whoever they drop in there at quarterback, they've done a really good job this offseason giving them a supporting cast that you can really evaluate them off of, not like what you had last year trying to evaluate Shedeur.
Again, all due respect to Mary Kay Cabot, who does a great job. This is insanity. This is way too soon. We're not even talking about practice. We're talking about mini camp. Mini camp?
But Josh.
Mini camp.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing? With a first-year coach? With a new offense that you have to learn? And we haven't even seen the drafted players. You talk about the supporting cast. They hadn't even signed their contracts yet and shown up. Like they're just walking in? They're just getting the playbook.
That's
Looking
fair.
at the two receivers that they drafted in round 1 and round 2, Denzel Boston and Casey Concepcion and Spencer Fano from Utah. Can we have some sample size before we make a very important decision here? It gets wilder, though, when you consider the overall scope of the depth chart. The further you get into the depth chart, the wilder it gets. You got Dylan Gabriel, who's still around, who started games for you. He seems like a prime trade candidate, like when a starter or a backup goes down in camp. Hey, who's somebody who's cheap, serviceable, non-dramatic backup option that we can bring in? Yeah, Dylan Gabriel makes some sense. Here's a comp pick, or here's a 5th or whatever in order to bring him in. Maybe a 6th. Cleveland also drafted my personal college football crush of the last 2 years in Taylon Green. 6'6", 236, ran a 4.36 40-yard dash. Say that again. 6'6", 226, ran a 4.36 40-yard dash. That seems like a team that's probably interested in putting him in a Terrell Pryor-like situation where he's, all right, we'll give you your shot at quarterback, air quotes, but do you want to draw paychecks in the league? Do you? Well, we're going to need you to play another position and use you some way, somehow. But Taylon Green, big fan of him in Arkansas and Boise State before that. But you're right. With that being said, the Browns, they are a fascinating team post-draft. The way I view them, they are a boom or bust team. There's no in between. You have enough weapons for the quarterback to be a successful team. You have a defense that was top 5 in total defense. You supported whoever you're going to have at quarterback by taking Concepcion in Boston and Spencer Fano. You should be better offensively. You brought Todd Monken in
and the
to
free
freshen
agency,
up the offense.
And what they did in free agency. So
no doubt. They have done enough to support the offense. This offense should be better. The defense is already good. You got the defensive player of the year and the defensive rookie of the year on that defense. It should be very improved. But there is a scenario where this goes poorly because it is a first-year head coach without a reliable quarterback. We don't know who it's going to be at this point. And yes, they are the Cleveland Browns.
I hear that part of it. You know, to your point, yes, it's early. But I go back to what made this trusted reporter write a whole piece on this. This isn't good for Shedeur, no matter how you slice it. Either he's been garbage with the ball in his hand since they've gotten onto the grass, or despite this team drafting him, there are people in that building that are rooting against him. Because all we've heard from the people that matter, a.k.a. Todd Monken, is that Shedeur's been great and that there is no separating factor here. He's a guy that may have the leg up here early on. That was the reporting last week, was that Shedeur had the leg up in this process.
You mean to tell me there are things about Shedeur that teams might not like?
In his own building, though, that's ridiculous.
That's
phony,
crazy.
that's fake, that's ridiculous. If there's people in that building trying to sabotage him, like that's ridiculous.
That there's a chance that an NFL team might not like a rookie quarterback rolling up to his first preseason game, playing his own music, walking into the locker room.
That was not him. That. Are you serious? Even after the fact?
I watched it. He played it. Yes, I was there.
It was someone else holding the beatbox.
It wasn't feet.
It was someone else holding the damn boombox.
I was told he had the ox going, and he had the ox going in the locker room and played Hurricane Chris because it was his uncle. I'm just saying, I was there. I have the facts. Those are the facts. You
tried to say Hurricane Chris was his uncle, like A-Bay Hurricane Chris?
That's true. They were playing A-Bay in the locker room. I reported that. Somebody saw it on X and said, someone with the Browns came up to me, seeing my tweet. I was at the game and said, did you know that Hurricane Chris is Shedeur Sanders' uncle? I'm like, what? Yeah, that's why he was playing Hurricane Chris. And that's how I know Shedeur had the ox, because he was playing Hurricane Chris. That's what I was told. This is the reporting. Mary Kay Cabot, get on it. Shedeur Sanders, Hurricane Chris, A-Bay. 310-840-4910. So, who will be the Browns' starting quarterback this season? And does it matter? 310-840-4910. Jim is in New Hampshire. Jim, who will be the quarterback? Does it matter?
It does. And good evening, gentlemen.
What up,
all the time, for New Hampshire, but I'm a Browns fan, lifelong. I've been going to games since Bernie Kosar was there. It should be Shedeur Sanders. He has the line now. He has the weapons. Let him get all the snaps and let him get ready and see what this team can do.
What is your expectation
for
Watson,
the Browns this year? Excuse my language. It should be Shedeur.
Okay. What are your expectations for the Browns? Not encouraging that. What are your expectations for the Browns this year, Jim?
If the line plays as well as the talent they put into it through free agency and the draft, I could see them winning 8-9 games. Of course, I'm being an optimist.
I don't even think you're being a super optimist. So you said what I was kind of waiting to say. We were just talking about the report. It's very clear what they should do, and Jim just laid it out. You don't know what you have in Shedeur Sanders at this point. I don't think last year with the supporting cast that you had, it was a fair evaluating tool. It wasn't.
Hold one sec. Jim, appreciate the call, by the way. I think what's clear and obvious they need to do is you're already paying Deshaun Watson, split the reps between the two, and whoever the best quarterback plays. Period.
How do you get a gauge on what Shedeur is by not giving him the lion's share of the reps? He's a young quarterback. That's what he needs at this point. That's how you get a full evaluation on what a guy is. You give him all the reps. Deshaun at
Play
this
the best
point,
quarterback.
Deshaun made his bed. He got to lay in it.
I know, but you're paying him. So play the best
Shador's
quarterback.
putting
Give you
butts
the guy.
in seats.
Give. I don't give a damn
He
about
is,
that.
and
Give
you know
me,
what-
do you know what puts butts in seats? Winning games. Give you the guy that gives you the best chance at
We
winning
don't
games.
know that. The last time I had a stat
That's
on
what I'm
Deshaun
saying.
Watson
Split the reps at camp. Whoever is better,
what is Deshaun
give that
done
guy
to
the
deserve
starting
reps?
job.
What
What's
is
that?
Deshaun? What has Deshaun done to deserve reps?
Eat up a fourth of their salary cap.
That's not
what he's
good
done.
logic.
If
You
you
don't
weren't
just- you
paying
don't just
him,
play a guy
you're
because of
paying
his
him to be
contract,
there.
Josh.
You play to win the football.
He
game.
doesn't give you the best.
Play. I know. That's what I'm saying. Play the guy who gives you the who at
Can I give you a number?
practice looks better between the two quarterbacks. This isn't hard.
Can we
Who
solo
looks
candy
better?
on this?
Play the guy who looks better in the preseason game.
This is
Play
a
them
jaw
both.
dropping
Split the reps.
that's going to send us to break beautifully. There have been 907 seasons of at least 200 passing attempts this century. Deshaun Watson's 2024 season ranked 902nd in yards per drop back. He has been quite literally one of the worst quarterbacks of all time since he's been in Cleveland.
If you're going to cherry pick stats, he also led the league in passing a year or two before that. These are things, again,
Can I be honest about what?
play the best guy.
Dog.
Shador, if you want to be the guy, be the better guy at practice.
I feel like
Simple.
tonight is all about sports movies, right? They're getting ready to have the 30th anniversary of Space Jam. They're going to do like popcorn, exclusive stuff in the theater. I think that's cool. Nostalgia. It's great for all the old heads out there.
They have like the
Monstars, the
nostalgic
masseuses,
commemorative
his abilities were zapped away by them. He hasn't
I
been
don't care.
good since, pal.
No, I'm saying you're right. Then Shador outperform him at practice. Simple. He doesn't have the powers. The Monstars took it. Great. He's coming off an injury. Just beat him at practice. That's it. Boom. Problem solved. That's all. That's what the Browns should do. Practice should matter. The players know who the better quarterback is. The better quarterback at practice and in preseason games should play. That's it. Nothing should be given to Shador Sanders.
I'm not saying
You
give
gotta
it
earn
to
it.
him.
Yes, you
He
are.
has
You're saying
earned.
You said it
you know
shouldn't
why
matter
he's,
at practice.
He's earned. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying he deserves more of the reps. He deserves to get a lion's share of the reps. You know why?
No.
Who's been in the building longer this summer and this throughout the course of the offseason? Shador
I don't know,
or
and you
Deshaun
don't
Watson?
know.
Yes,
I don't
we
know,
do.
and
It's
you
been
don't
told.
know. No,
That
we
was
don't.
said to us by Todd Monken at the damn spring meetings. He said it. It's been reported on by Mary Kay. That's fact that Shador's been in Berea all offseason. That's
All right,
showing me that he
then,
cares.
Then he should outperform him at practice. Simple.
Well,
It's
he's
a
got to get
simple
the
answer.
reps to do that, is what I'm saying. He
And
deserves
will.
to be getting
he
the
will
lion's
get
share of the
certainly
reps.
50% of the reps. He certainly will. You should outperform him to get more
What is
reps. That's
what
it.
has Deshaun done to earn his
Just told
half
you.
of the reps besides
He's eating
having
a
this
quarter-
ridiculous contract?
No, I mean, that is the
so
answer.
put Jimmy Haslam under center then. He's the one that gave him
well-
the ridiculous contract.
I mean, he probably would want to. He probably
right?
would, but that's the answer.